while you two hustle back to the desk here, I'll tell our viewers that Mel Kiper and Field Yates released a 3-round mock draft yesterday. And like before, they have QBs going 1, 2, 3. Caleb Williams to the Bears, Jayden Daniels to the Commanders, and Drake May to the New England Patriots. Sit on down, you two, and welcome to the show for the first time, NFL draft analyst and college football analyst Jordan Reid joining us to chop it up. Jordan, good evening. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you all for having me.
Well, a pleasure, because we know you have a lot of insight on not only these players, but the draft itself. So let's assume that Mel and Field, they know what they're doing, and they get those first 3 selections right. Jordan, do you think a team then comes up to get a 4th quarterback, Michigan's J.J. McCarthy, in the top 5?
I'm going to say yes here with the team coming up for J.J. McCarthy, just because we all know that 3 quarterbacks are going to go in the first 3 picks in the NFL draft. So there's space for one more inside the top 5. The Arizona Cardinals have the 4th overall pick, while the L.A. Chargers have the 5th overall pick. It is wide consensus that one of those teams are going to trade out of one of those selections, whether that's to the Minnesota Vikings at number 11 overall, the Denver Broncos at 12, or even the Las Vegas Raiders looking to come up at 13 overall. So there's another spot for a quarterback inside the top 5, and I believe that guy could be J.J. McCarthy.
Okay, so the over-under for the amount of quarterbacks selected in the first round is 4.5. If you bet the under, it's juiced nicely, plus 140. $100 wager would return 140 in profit. So, given what we just talked about, what are the chances you could see 4 guys going in the top 5, but then nobody else until the 2nd round?
I went back and forth on this one. This is the big debate in draft circles right now, but I'm going to go with the over. I believe we get one more quarterback inside the top 5, whether it's Bo Nix of Oregon or Michael Penix Jr. of the Washington Huskies. I believe whether that's in the middle of the first round or the back end of the first round, I believe we get 5 quarterbacks inside of the first round.
And you mentioned Bo Nix. Who are some teams that you think could be in the market to get him?
Well, there's 2 that make a lot of sense to me, Aaron. And the first one is the Denver Broncos at number 12 overall, just because a common thought that Bo Nix reminds a lot of evaluators of is Drew Brees, who is the one coach that had a lot of success in the past with Drew Brees. That is Sean Payton, who is now in Denver. So Denver is a common spot for Bo Nix. And another is the New York Giants, who have the number 6 overall pick. And then they also have a 2nd round pick to where they could select Bo Nix. So keep an eye on the Denver Broncos as well as the New York Giants for 2 spots for Bo Nix.
Those Broncos a heavy favorite to end up with Bo Nix as a quarterback. Same question Aaron asked you, Jordan, but for Michael Penix, who are some teams that we should be linking with the Washington signal caller?
I believe this team is going to be an overwhelming favorite for Michael Penix Jr., and that is the Las Vegas Raiders, whether that's at the 13th overall pick or the 44th overall pick on day 2. The Las Vegas Raiders made a lot of sense for Michael Penix Jr. They signed Gardner Minshew in the offseason, and then they drafted Aiden O'Connell last year, but neither one of those guys are seen as the long-term solution in Vegas. Michael Penix Jr. makes a lot of sense just because he's an older prospect. They have a roster that they want to win with right now. Michael Penix could step in there and immediately be a starter. So keep an eye on the Las Vegas Raiders for a landing spot for Michael Penix Jr. in the first round, or even trading back into the back end of the first round in order to get him.
Yeah, and that's a much nicer return on investment, plus 225 for the Raiders, even though they are the favorite for the lefty out of Washington. Jordan Reid, great stuff, my friend. We hope to chat with you again soon before the draft kicks off next week in Detroit.